This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to On Deck. I've been doing so many podcasts for today, but on here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network with me, James Gonzalez, and of course, Crispy Bacon to the side of me. How are you, Chris?
I am good. I guess we can say you're the Ryan Seacrest of C2C.
Oh my gosh! At least I won't ask a blind kid for a high five.
Oh,
I will not do that.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's out there. Hey. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That was the most amazing thing. Maybe we'll get into that on Entertainment Hour tomorrow. Be sure to check that out. Morning Tailgate will probably come back very soon, right, Chris?
Yeah, we're hoping, either this Sunday or next Sunday, but hey, it's going to be here.
What was it? Wednesday morning was the new fantasy show, right?
Yeah.
With
fantasy football.
That's
with
it.
Big D and Tim Hendrick.
That's what it was. Check out that. That's on the Coast to Coast on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you can find the video there. So check all the shows out. Find us on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network, wherever social media platforms are. All right, so This is, of course, On Deck. We're going to be talking MLB baseball, and we'll get into our team reports. But before that, I do have some crazy news. Rich Hill, that starting pitcher who ended up on the Red Sox, he's appeared now in 20 major league seasons. He's bounced around a lot. But 20 seasons for Rich Hill. All right, let's get to our team reports now. I guess I'll start with the Angels. I'll make it quick. The Angels have lost 7 in a row until today. They won 3-0 in Detroit. They avoid the sweep of from the Tigers in Detroit. Just offense not hitting, the pitching doing just enough, but again, the offense just not there. What I can say, it was a horrible road trip. They lost 2 out of 3 in Kansas City, swept 4 straight in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. That was pitiful. Almost got no hit Saturday. And you had one of our guys, mouthing off in the media saying, oh yeah, his stuff was hittable. But that pitcher, Francis, he struck out 12 and only gave up that 1 hit. It was a home run to Taylor Ward, and then Ward said what he said. And then they ended up losing the next day. And again, lost 2 out of 3 in Detroit. So that's been awful. The record right now, 55-79. They're 16 and a half games out of first place in the AL West. No really need to mention the wild card. This weekend, they come back home to play in Anaheim. They play the Seattle Mariners, who are only 3.5 behind the Astros for first place. They're in second. Seattle needing every win to stay with Houston. The Angels are calling up 2 rookie pitchers for Friday and Sunday starts. We'll talk about Samuel Algieri in a little bit. And then Sunday, the number 1 prospect, Caden Dana, will be called up to pitch on Sunday. So that'll be interesting to see both rookie pitchers pitching against the Mariners. Mariners throwing some of their best against the Angels. I guess they'll take 1 out of 3. We'll see. Hopefully, like there's an old saying, like the rookie pitchers will have the best of the hitters because they don't know them as much. So hopefully that's the case on Friday and Sunday, and they surprise me with a series victory. Probably not, but we'll see if that's the case. One of our pitchers were hurt, Matt Moore. He probably won't be back for the season. We'll see if that happens. But what else? There's really not much else. Just a lot of losing, Chris.
Yeah.
So for your team reports with the Texas Rangers, how are they doing?
Yeah, staying in the division, AL West. 3rd place in the division behind Houston and Seattle. We've been doing okay in the last 10 games, 7-3. I guess that's pretty good if you want to count how the season has been so far. Unfortunately, we are 8.5 games back of the division, 9.5 games back of the wild card, sitting at 63 and 71. I'm sure they're going to call out more players because towards the end of the season, there's about a month to go, and since there is about a month to go in the season, I'm calling off the playoff appearance. I mean, anything.
It's over?
I think so. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll say so. I did see here they did take, what was it, 4? Yeah, they swept 4 games from the White Sox in Chicago, and we'll have photos on that pretty soon. But, man.
I think we had to resume a game yesterday due to a rain delay.
Yep, that's what I have here. Yeah, you don't want to lose against the White Sox, man. That really hurts. And you didn't. The Angels, by the way, they have all 6 games left against the White Sox, and that's in September. They play like 3, then they play someone else, and then play 3 again, home and away.
Is that going to have a total of 2 fans?
The what?
Is that going to have a total of 2 fans in the stands?
Man, yeah, we'll
talk
show
about
you
that in a minute.
If there's rain if there's a rain delay in that series in Chicago for the Angels, it'll be less than what we've seen yesterday. That's for sure.
And no offense, it makes the A's look good.
Yeah, really does. By the way, that's who Texas plays on this weekend at home in Arlington. Is the Oakland A's. I think it's the last time you guys play the A's as the Oakland A's. Texas and the Angels will play each other, I see, in Texas for a 4-game series, September 5th through the 8th. So we'll meet up again for sure. So that's the team reports. Let's get to the standings. Yeah, the standings of every division here. And then the wild card. Yeah, again, we'll start off with the AL West. Houston up 4 games now. 4 games since Houston, I believe, won today. So, Houston won. So they will be 4 games ahead. They beat the Royals today. So they're 4 ahead of Seattle here. Oh, well, we'll go with, let's start off there. Texas 9 out, Oakland 14.5, and then the Angels 17. Now, the AL Central has been a lot of fun for 3 teams, man. Look at this. The Cleveland Guardians, they only lead the Royals by 1 because the Royals lost today. But the Royals took, I believe, 2 out of 3 against Cleveland in Cleveland. So that was a big series. And then look at the Twins. They're right there at 3.5. Just fun. They're
not even a wild card picture.
Who ain't?
Minnesota.
Yeah, they are. They have, I think, the 3rd spot. Could you see how the line is there at WCGB? Yeah. So those 2 have the wild card. All 3 are in it right now. So the AL East, it's basically a 2-team race. It's the Yankees and the Orioles. Orioles are only 1 game back. They're right there. They continue to be. All right, for the National League, I forget what pops up first for you, but we'll get to it. Probably Probably the West pops up for you first. I'm thinking on your screen.
Right. What were you talking about next?
Oh, National League East. Yeah, National League East. Atlanta still 6 back of the Phillies. It's kind of a interesting note that the Braves are even this close. It really is. It's really interesting to see. Mets are 9 out. You got Washington 18 out, and Miami just playing along. They're 30 games out, first place. Phillies have.
I was gonna say they're just not trying to get last.
And they are. Phillies, they had a good series against the Astros. They had a rematch of the 22 World Series, so that was good for Philadelphia to get back on track just a little bit. In the Central, it's all pretty much done. Milwaukee leads the Cubs by 9.5. You got the Cardinals 10.5, Cincinnati 13.5, and Pittsburgh 15. By the way, let me mention, since Greg isn't here, but I'll mention the Cardinals. They split with the Padres 4 games, which is pretty good for the Cardinals. They had record low attendance at some of those games. It's been hot as hell there in Missouri. But 26,000 was announced at some of these games, but it didn't look like it.
That's a lot. Well, I'm sure they're scattered about throughout the stadium.
But there was probably like 16 or 17 that actually came out. 26 paid, but maybe less showed up. Less showed up. That's for sure. And it was weird to see that for the Cardinals, but I think Cardinal fans are royally pissed at the front office. Yeah. The fact that they aren't winning like they used to be. It's just funny how the Angels and Cardinals, it's almost the same. For that NL West, and it's still pretty fun. The Dodgers lead the Diamondbacks by 3.5, and then the Padres are 4.5 ahead, or behind, I should say. Giants have fallen all the way down to 13, and Colorado, just like Miami, playing the season now 30 games out of first. For the wild cards, Baltimore has the first wild card at 77-57. They're 4.5 ahead of the second place wild card, Kansas City Royals at 2 back. And then you have Minnesota right there. They hold the third spot. Now you see right there, Boston at 3.5, Seattle at 4.5. Seattle's trying to climb up, not only for the division, but for that wild card spot right there. And look at the Angels. 17.5 behind, and just for fun, the Chicago White Sox are 42 games out of the wild card, 31 and 104.
Whoa!
100.
That's horrible. And I thought the Rangers were low, down low in the.
Only 9.5.
That's all.
That's just freaky to me. The National League, it doesn't have that much intrigue, but it's still kind of intriguing. You got, you got Arizona. Mm-hmm. They lead the first wild card by 3 games over San Diego. San Diego leads the second wild card by 2 games over the Braves, and the Mets went down a game, and they're down only 3 games out of that wild card spot. The Cubs and the Cardinals, it feels like both don't really have a chance at 5 and 6 out. Even the Giants at 6.5. You never know, but it's a lot of things must happen in front of you, and then you got to take care of your business as well. And the Giants just don't seem to do that. So, man, again, just like the last show we did, I just feel like everything's going to stay the same when it comes to divisional. Hopefully in that AL East, the Orioles win that division, but don't really know what's going to happen with that. All right, so let's get to some series going on this weekend, because there's some fun ones. I did mention Mariners and Angels only because the Mariners need to win. That's the only thing. And the Angels trying to play spoiler in that division. They don't want to see anyone get in their division that they can control for that for that weekend. I think that's going to be fun. With the 2 rookie pitchers, like I mentioned, the Red Sox are at Detroit. And Detroit, of course, took 2 out of 3 from the Angels. Red Sox trying to hold on and try to stay in that wild card race. Man, the Braves and the Phillies, again, what were the Braves? 6.5 out of first place. They take on the Phillies in Philadelphia. That's going to be fun. Ranger Suarez will be back starting for them, the Phillies. Ronaldo Lopez will go for Atlanta. So that's going to be a great series there on the weekend. You got Padres and Rays. The Padres trying to stay in the wild card spot they're in or improve maybe. The Yankees trying to keep first place, hosting the Cardinals. That might be interesting there. The Guardians hosting the Pirates. The Guardians trying to keep first place. The Royals and Astros. And again, that's a 4-game series. The Astros took the first one. We'll see if now again, like I mentioned last show, the Royals are going through a gauntlet of a schedule and only gets stronger facing the Astros this weekend. I mean, that's going to be a lot of fun to watch that. I may tune in. You got Seth Lugo going for Kansas City and Framber Valdez going for Houston tomorrow. That's a great pitching matchup right there. The Twins are hosting the Blue Jays. Again, the Blue Jays trying to play spoiler. But the Twins, they're strong. So they kept that 3rd spot there. Mets and White Sox. The Mets not trying to embarrass itself to lose to the White Sox. The Rangers avoided that by sweeping that series, luckily.
Good.
Yeah. The Mets trying to stay in that race. The Orioles and Rockies. The Orioles, staying out west here. They lost to the Dodgers. I think they lost 2 out of 3 to LA. But they go to Colorado. They're trying to stay in that AL East spot there, or that race for that, I should say. Dodgers and Orioles actually playing right now 1-0. LA in the top of the 3rd. I forgot they're playing a Tuesday through Thursday series. All right. What's the other series? Oh yeah. So for the Dodgers, it doesn't get any easier. They go to Arizona to play the Diamondbacks. And remember, the Diamondbacks right now are 3.5 ahead or behind the Dodgers. And if LA loses tonight, they're 3 back. And if the Diamondbacks sweep, they'll be in a first place tie, Arizona and LA. That would be fun. Kershaw going for the Dodgers and Gallen going for Arizona. That will be fun. Doubleheader tomorrow with the Brewers and Reds. Again, Brewers just trying to hold their first place spot in the NL Central and keep it going. Out of the series I mentioned, Chris, which one are you looking forward to if you had to just pick one?
Mm-hmm. Probably the Seattle Mariners game
against the Angels.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not even looking forward to that.
I want to see if Seattle can continue to win.
And they're only 3.5 behind, and they're trying to stay with Houston, trying to get back into the wild card. They really need it. And this is the time usually, Chris, where they kind of fall off, other from 2022. But they're trying to stay in it, and man, that would be a time to do it. Would be right now. Okay, let's get to some of our photos that we have, and I'll try to explain them all. So put on whatever we got.
All right.
I'll try to explain it. This is going to be like, I don't know what show, I forget. But we've had some interesting things happen this week. So, Elisa Hernandez on TV for in LA here mentioned, this was all yesterday for the Dodgers. Dodger fans were lining up outside of the gates of Dodger Stadium for the Shohei Ohtani bobblehead, along with the dog named... What was it again?
You said it before the show.
I know.
Hold on.
Decoy. I was about to say delay. Decoy.
I had a little delay for a minute.
Yeah. So the bobblehead had Shohei and then the dog Decoy with him, and there was a line. I'm not kidding you. That was early at 11 a.m. And again, the game, like I mentioned, at 7:10. Now, the line was 20,000 people long. There's 4 entrances, and 20,000 people were lined up. If you count all the entrances, right? Way before the game started. It's amazing to see. And there's Decoy running the ball from the mound to Shohei. So that was the first pitch yesterday. I didn't want this to be a Dodger field thing, but everybody loves dogs.
Kind of went with the story, so
right. I don't want to give him any more, but I have to. What was the next thing?
Let's see.
Yeah, there's
Let's
Decoy.
get off the Dodgers.
Yeah. To a former Dodger, Corey Seager. He hit his 200th home run. I believe it was on Wednesday, right? In Chicago. And I thought he would have had more, but hopefully more is to come where he's not as injured. Man, he does get paid a lot of money. Did you think he had more in his career? Or do you think you thought 200?
I think everybody would have thought he had more in his career. I think anybody that that has seen a good athlete thinks that their star player has more in the tank.
Oh yeah,
and I'm sure a lot of people probably think that. Not to kind of diverge from this topic, but with DeGrom and Scherzer and all of that, so I'm sure everybody thought he has more in the tank.
All right, whenever next.
Armiti.
Oh my God! So this one is crazy. Thank you to Fox, MLB on Fox here, that had the line here. I'll mention it to people who can't see the box score, but the Pirates were leading the Cubs. Get this, 7-9. 10-0 after the 6th inning. And the Cubs came back to score 11 straight runs. No, I'm sorry. They were up. I'm sorry. Wait. They were up 10-3 after 6 innings were the Pirates. Then they ended up giving up 11 runs to the Cubs. And the Cubs won 14-10. They both had 16 hits and had 1 error. Or thank you, Chris, for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those crazy games you see like on what do you call it? On the show.
Yeah, I was gonna say
like you're just playing with your friends and you're like, no way they're gonna come back, and the AI or the computer gives it up. Just ridiculous how the NL Central just runs into each other, I like to say. But yeah, 14-10. It was 10-3, and the Pirates gave up 11 unanswered runs to the Cubs. Just crazy. I believe we have more fertility next. Oh no, yeah, well, true with the Angels.
I'm trying to put up another Dodger topic.
Yeah, Samuel Al-Jaziri. That sounds like something else. 20 years ago. Anyway. He's the first pitcher born and raised in Italy, and he will be. He's already called up, and he will start on that Friday against Seattle. So I think that was really cool to mention. The Italians have their first major leaguer, and remember, Chris, they've been in the World Baseball Classic.
And I'm sure
a few Angels have played on that Italy team. But no one's been able to make it to the majors like this.
Gotta start somewhere.
That were born and raised in Italy. So I think it's pretty cool. It's great for the game. They always try to get it going international. And boom, here's a good landing spot for the Angels. All right, next. Oh, more Dodger talk. Let's just change the show to On Deck for the Dodgers. Sarah Langs, who does a great job on X, she mentioned Shohei Ohtani has 42 home runs and 42 stolen bases. I think this was after last night's game. The highest total a player has reached in both home runs and stolen bases in the season is 42. Alex Rodriguez, before steroids in Seattle, had 42 home runs and 46 stolen bases to finish the season. Shohei has another month plus to get maybe 50-50. You think he gets that, Chris? 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. And it's interesting, too, that he's not a pitcher this year.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he's putting up all these historic numbers, which I don't think nobody doubt that, but it's just impressive how one thing he's pretty much known for, he can't do this year. And yet he's shown that he has more to prove than any other year.
Made the big jump from going from a nothing franchise to a big franchise, and he's doing historical things. I mean, it's just amazing. It hurts to know that, 2 years ago the Angels should have traded him to the Dodgers, and then he leaves and gives up. The Angels get nothing for him.
Yeah. He's going, of course he does this when he's not here.
But man, he didn't steal this many bases. They have him go. Which is
I always worry about that with different teams and different sports. At least for like the Dallas area, it's like, man, if he goes to another team, he's going to be a scary player.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he was here, but just to show us that, hey, you lost out of a talent.
That's true. All right, next. I'm done.
All right, one more.
Ooh, misery. We'll keep the misery going. Now, this was 4 games ago. I think it was on Sunday night. This is a picture, of course, of them losing their 20th game in a row in Oakland. This was earlier this month. Earlier this month. I recognize the picture because of the fertility of the Oakland Coliseum, how empty, how dark it is. And the fact is, too, Chris, the Oakland Coliseum is the only major league stadium without a dugout railing. Everyone else has one. You can see them, their feet on the dirt of the playing surface. Anyway, to mention this, the White Sox were 31-100. It's the MLB worst record through 131 games in 108 years. 108 years. Sounds familiar, right? Remember with the Cubs?
Yeah, the curse. The curse.
That was 108 years. Now across town, they have the worst record in 108 years through 31 games.
So will next year be a World Series year?
There's no... If that... People are going to make that bet in Vegas, watch. They'll be like, oh, I bet they'll turn it all around in one season. But this is a team that hasn't given anyone a $100 million contract, though. So they're not going to get a Juan Soto. They're not going to get a big free agent.
Would they lay down a $108 bet?
That would be something.
And then who knows what.
But they're on their way to... Remember, the worst record, I think, in Major League history is... What was it? It was 40-120. And that was the 1962 New York Mets. Expansion New York Mets at the Polo Grounds. So they're on their way. They're on their way. It's just crazy. It's something to watch for. They're America's team. When you really think about it.
Whoa. I'm just fine.
When people think of fertility, you think America, and America's team is now the White Sox.
Whoa.
How about
Wrong sport. Next? That was it on the feature topic.
Oh, goodness. Surprises with the reels. Maybe I can explain it before we press play.
All right, let's stick with the White Sox, I think. And this is not really a reel, but it is a picture. and we're kind of going to stay on this topic.
When they played the Rangers on Wednesday, it was a makeup. So they had a doubleheader, and this was the first game of that doubleheader. There's literally nobody there. Somebody counted, I should say, all the people in that picture. Somebody said there was 17 people that he counted in the picture. Somebody said 63. That looks like 17 to me. I've never seen a stadium that empty since 2020, when there was no fans allowed. That one game with the White Sox and the Orioles, I think, in 2017 or 18, I can't remember, where they shut the city down in Baltimore. But I just couldn't believe it when I seen that. I mean, you would think the announcers would be so quiet and make sure it was like, hey, are we talking too loud? Like, it's just amazing.
I love these comments.
Oh yeah,
I at least moved directly behind home plate.
The only issue is directly behind plate is that stadium. They have a club right there. You see on the bottom picture. Mm-hmm. It blocks out, the rest of everyone. But I would move right near the dugout and just talk to people, talk to the team. I really would.
Would you do the old here, bada, here, bada, here, bada,
and everybody would hear you? That's the crazy part.
But I mean, you have a chance to do that when there's nobody there. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do.
Could you imagine the like 5 ushers who are there, like, hey, I know you're a fan and I know you're supposed to make noise and all that, but you're being too loud for people at home watching, whoever is home watching. Again, this was a weekday, a Wednesday afternoon in Chicago. It's hot out and everybody's got business to do, business to work. Everybody's at school or work. And you have this. And both teams are out of it. Well, the Rangers kind of out of it, but the White Sox, again, 31-104 will get you this.
I would understand, being that it's a school day, you don't get the entire capacity of the stadium. I get it. But that much, and not to go back to 2020, but that kind of looks like that.
Yeah, it definitely does. Remember, they spread it out, the bullpen people as well in 2020. They had them sit, social distancing. This literally looks like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, nothing different, I guess. I don't know.
It's a memorable image that we don't want to remember.
No. That's why I was like, not to go back there, but we got something else here.
Okay, so before we play this, this was very cool.
It's a picture.
Right, the first one is.
But it's so cool.
Danny Jansen was at bat for the Blue Jays.
Looks like the Blue Jays.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was at bat for the Blue Jays, and then he gets traded to the Red Sox. Dang. But they resumed a game from June, and now Danny Jansen, who was playing for the Blue Jays, becomes a Red Sox, and they had a pinch hit for Jansen, of course, because he's catching now for the Red Sox. So Danny becomes the first player in MLB history to play for both teams in the same game. All right, let's hear the broadcaster explain it better than I. How about that?
Okay, but first, if I was a fan of that player, I'd get both jerseys.
I don't think there's jerseys of him. Maybe in Toronto there was at the pro shop,
right?
The team store, but
it was even now, I'd get it for Boston.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Put both together.
Yeah,
I've seen those.
And here's that video.
Inning of June 26. And strike number 1 as he fouls that back, and that's when the rains hit and shut down the ball game. And so we pick it up as a suspended game for game number 1. And now Danny Jansen, a month later, traded to the Boston Red Sox, and here he is behind the plate in a Red Sox uniform and ready to catch the rest of what was his at-bat. Now, the fascinating thing here is, had the count been 0-2, conceivably he could have caught his own strikeout. That would have gone into the book as his K. As we go back to the...
Wow.
Think about that.
Well, now you're, because they're talking about this at the second inning. The second inning. So they say the rest of the game. You can say the majority of the game.
Yep. Now, we'll see how his at-bat, who he was pinched for, went. I think the next video shows how his at-bat went.
Okay.
We'll see.
One strike now on Dalton Varsho.
That's who pinch hit for him.
218 with 15 home runs. You're tuning in for a bit of history here. They'll go after the first one and foul it away, and it's 0-2.
Just like strike one. It was fouled back. 0-2.
Yeah, Varsho, too. I mean, the funny one is he has a 22-game on-base streak, but that doesn't matter, right? Because it goes back to the 26th of June.
I'm like, what?
0-2 pitch. Runner goes. Swung on and
Strike
missed.
out.
The throw down, and that's going to go into center
And
field.
of course he. Oh no, he doesn't
going to
go.
hang
there.
right there on the strikeout by Varsho. One strike now on.
So he ended up. Well, his at bat ended up striking out, but it wasn't him. That's something for history. And I could think of one guy who was traded during a game, but he didn't suit up for the other team. I forget who it was. It was in the 80s, I believe.
So he was the first guy to suit up, basically.
But this is the first guy to play in one game for both teams. But one guy was traded before a game and during a game. So I always remember those two things. But this was first and historic.
Yeah.
What was the next one?
That was it. You had. I never got the Maddox one you're going to send over.
Oh, okay.
But that was the other one you wanted to play.
Okay. There wasn't another one then?
I
I thought I sent two more over, but excuse me. Let me see if I can do it.
Yeah, there's. No, yeah, there was more. Hold on.
Let's see if you can get that. I'll mention what was it for the catcher who was traded, I think, in 2022 or 1. It was Christian Vasquez. He went from Boston to Houston, and it was during batting practice. It was just wild because he was wearing Boston stuff as he was taking BP. And all of a sudden they say, hey, stop, practicing. You've been traded to the other side, but you won't play today. And the pressure was on Alex Cora, the manager of Boston, in this situation for Jansen, to put him as the catcher. So that was funny how it all went. Okay, yeah, this one is cool. We love to see firsts, and this was for Dylan Cruz. He was called up earlier this week, and he finally got his first home run against, I believe that's the New York Yankees. Yeah, that's Carlos Rodon. And the lefty versus righty. Cruz, of course, was the first-round pick for the Nationals last draft. And already he's up doing this. Hit it.
All right.
And a ball launched high in the air out to left. Go Verdugo going back. There's number 1. See you later.
I like the picture. He's like, what?
Dylan
how
with
did he
the
do that?
launch angle. You talk about Giancarlo with this the hang time on his. What a blast.
I think that's so cool to have the first of someone do that. I can think of, others who have done it. I'm waiting for Christian Moore to do it for the Angels sometime this season. We'll see if that's the case.
You never know.
Yeah. Do you have that, the Maddox one?
No.
Okay, we'll hit it tomorrow. I mean, next week probably. But yeah, that Greg Maddux documentary was tremendous on MLB Network. For those who saw it on Sunday, and I guess throughout the week they've been replaying it. I hope, but it's been really, really cool to see because he's one of my favorite pitchers of all time, and there's no doubt about that. All right, Chris, we'll get out of here. Any final thoughts for MLB on deck or C2C?
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. Maybe taking it tonight. If not, we'll be back for Entertainment Hour tomorrow. And Colorado won their first game in college football.
Oh, that was tonight against North Dakota State?
Yeah, 9-time FCS champions.
I forgot. I thought it was a Kansas playing. Anyway, it's college football time, and luckily I could watch something else other from the Angels this year. Yeah, be sure to tune in. Hopefully, the Entertainment Hour, I could get to work on that either today or tonight or tomorrow at work. Should have some interesting topics. We'll see what happens. But all right, for next time, thank you for watching On Deck. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, folks.